So we're getting ready to embark on an adventure. It's kind of epic. It's a big enough deal and big enough to both of us that we thought we ought to share the journey a little bit. So our game plan is to attend the Offshore Sailing School starting in a little over a week. And that means that we will travel to St. Petersburg, Florida. We will spend 2 days day sailing a 26-foot Colgate. And then the Monday morning, we will move aboard a 47-foot Geno with another couple and instructors and spend a week cruising the Tampa Bay area, learning how to operate a cruising sailboat. When we're done, we'll have a certificate that will entitle us to do a charter anywhere in the world, and we can replicate this experience and find a way to make it our next chapter.
So we thought you might have questions about our what we're embarking upon. So we thought we'd try to answer some. So we got some questions here. Let's get into it.
So why do you want to sail?
Well, as it turns out, sailing is just super fun, but there's more to it than that. Why do you want to sail?
Norman MacLean in A River Runs Through It says, "I am haunted by waters."
Oh.
Water and water recreation is just so woven through everything that has been important in my life. All of the highest moments have had to do with water, and so it's a logical and natural thing. But sailing is an inflection point because unlike other boats, sail power gives you range and reach and the ability to go places and do things that you couldn't otherwise do. How did we get the idea to start?
Well, during lockdown, we got on YouTube and discovered a sailing channel called Sailing GBU. And it was so entertaining. There were other channels too, such as Gone with the Winds and Sailing Ruby Rose. And
Salt and tar.
And that's kind of how we got hooked on it.
Had we ever sailed before? No. Spent a lot of time on water, power boats, paddling, all of that, but never been on a sailboat before we set down this path. And we're learning to sail in Iowa under the auspices of the UI Sailing Club.
That's right. And we've been doing that for a couple of years now. It's been really a great experience. If it were not for that outfit, I mean, I think we'd be hard pressed to think about going to sailing
Get where
school.
we are.
Yeah.
Would you say sailing is hard?
I do think it is hard. Yeah, there's a lot to it, but I think it definitely can be learned and become something that is intuitive.
Yeah, I agree. Why did we decide to go to sailing school and to go to this sailing school? Between now and the time that we retire and do this hopefully full time, we got about 10 some years, and we want to use that time effectively to explore. And we thought a great way to do that is to charter boats and learn to sail and to cruise on our own. There's a charter company that I called, and I said, "What do I need to be able to charter one of your boats?" And they said, "Call Offshore Sailing School." What do you think school will be like?
Well, here's what we know. The first 2 days we'll spend day sailing on a 26-foot Colgate. And then after that, we're going to move on board a 47-foot Geno with another couple and 2 instructors. We'll each have our own cabin, and I think there will be plenty to do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. The game plan is when we're living aboard, we'll be 4 nights with the instructor, planning on 2 nights anchored out and cooking on the boat, 2 nights probably docked in a marina where we can go in and hit a restaurant and kind of step our toes into it easy. It's going to be long, hard days. We've practiced so far sailing on Lake McBride where literally you might get a couple of 100 yards between tacks. And, I think we'll head out into the Gulf of Mexico and we may run 5 miles between tacks to just kind of get a much bigger footprint and really get a feel for how the boat systems work together.
Yeah. One thing I was worried about is is sailing school going to be like boot camp? I was worried about it. Like, could we handle it? But I got online, looked at videos, and what I saw were people just like me and Kent who had learned to sail and were living the dream life. So I think it's going to be okay. I think we'll be able to get through it.
Kind of the last topic that we wanted to hit in this intro is the packing and the gear. It's
Oh
been a
dear.
real different experience, a different kind of vacation than we've ever had. We needed soft-sided luggage because space is at a premium on a boat, and so we started with a couple of new travel backpacks and then thought about, well, what are we going to need? It's going to be Florida. The weather's going to be warm, but it's Florida in February and we're out on the water. So it's not going to be straight tropical. We've got to be prepared with rain gear and, for chilly mornings and that sort of thing. So the packing list that came from OSS is pretty extensive. We've met that and exceeded that. And spent more time organizing our gear and luggage on this trip than anything I've ever done before.
Yeah, my backpack at this point is embarrassingly organized.
That's all going to fall apart.
Yeah,
like
once we
a
get
couple
there.
minutes in.
What else is there to tell?
This is new to us to make videos like this, but one of the things that's been really encouraging is how much and how many of our friends have shown genuine interest in this. And I wouldn't presume that people would care that much about our average vacation, but if this works like we hope it will, this will be a moment we'll look back on and really see it as a different time in our lives. And so chronicling it this way with all of you and a chance to share is kind of fun.
Yeah. If you make it this far in the video and have other questions, I'd love to hear from you. So drop them down there in the comments.